Maybe one way to explain that would be, what would happen if we were just in a dark room? We wouldn't stay on the exact same sleep-wake cycle if we had no light to entrain to, right? We would kind of drift in one direction or another, depending on the species we're talking
Correct.
about.
We would definitely have strong circadian rhythms, but
Mm-hmm.
if my period is 24.2 hours, then each day I would be on average going to bed zero point 0.2 hours later than I did yesterday,
Yeah.
and again tomorrow and again. And eventually those zero point 0.2, zero point 0.2 each day would add up to a full day, and I would go around the clock. So this is the basis of those old cave experiments that many people know about, where people were kept in bunkers or caves where there was no light cue to the time of day. And we as humans then would drift later and later each day. Mice, because their periods shorter than 24 hours, if we turn the lights out in the vivarium and we measure their rest activity behavior, they advance a little each day and get up a little earlier each day. But the point is that you've made, which is absolutely correct, is that the period is about 24 hours and we're constantly adjusting it a little to live on the 24-hour day of planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's important to note, and we'll come to this later with regard to the paper that we will discuss. It's not so simple as every day being 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark.
Right.
In the laboratory, we do that with mice. We keep them in a room where the lights are on for 12 hours and lights are off for 12 hours. That on planet Earth only occurs 2 times per year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the equinoxes, okay? Because of our relation to the sun and our orbit around the sun, the day lengths are changing in the summer hours and then changing again in the winter hours, with days becoming longer and longer, the photo period being longer and longer in summer, and then getting shorter and shorter in wintertime. And we're coming up to the December 21st, of course, which will be the shortest photo period of our days on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only do organisms running around on the planet have to adjust to, or have to be primed to function on an approximately 24-hour day and be able to adjust to a 24-hour day, but we have to do that in the context of the light changing, the length of the day changing every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And around the equinox is when we have 12 hours of dark, 12 hours of light. If we're at the equator, it gets more complicated, because if you're living in northern climes like Scandinavia or far north Russia or China, the day, there are much longer days in the summer than we have here in San Francisco, and much shorter days in the winter than we have here in San Francisco.
Yeah. And of course, so no matter where you live or where a creature lives, if we're talking about a natural environment, so everything before, humans created the artificial environments we now live in, our bodies are clearly adapted to these natural seasonal changes in light. We can adjust pretty smoothly and easily to these incremental changes that happen day by day throughout the year.